back, guys. Welcome to day 6 of the journey. So today we're came full circle, going back to back. So we are currently weighing in at 68 kilos, which is ideal because this is pretty much a kilo heavier than I was in the first video. Even though massive weight fluctuations all the way throughout the week, it kind of just shows don't need to stress about your weight and all that jazz. But aye, very happy with this. So we're currently going back to Leeds Arnold, one of my favourite gym. We're gonna pretty much try and replicate that back day. Hopefully add an extra 5 kilos onto the Penleros. Check any other rower. That's pretty nice. That's the fucking hills. That's actually quite sick. I don't appreciate where I live. But aye, I'm gonna go for a back day, add in a fancy row, keeping Penleros in, keeping the lat pull downs in staples, and then starting off with rear delt flies as well. Probably not recording rear delt flies because that's single arm ones. I'm probably just recording from the top set of the heavier one. Remember, it's the Nautilus or the Nata. We've got 2 really good machines at this gym. But aye, it is going to be hopefully a sick session. With weight and everything, again, never overestimate it. Overestimate how quick you're gaining or whatnot, or even if you go off plan like 1 or 2 days, generally it's all good because your body is magic. It just actually sorts itself out ASAP, which is actually a really cool way of sorting out. Like you could go off plan for, let's say, 2 days in a row, just like 1 day, a heavy 1 day plan off, and you gain 2 kilos. As soon as you get back on plan, your body just resets itself. You don't need to punish it with extra cardio, extra steps, taking meals out. You don't need to do any of that. If you're maybe on prep, maybe there is some logic behind it because you've got a deadline to meet. But just everyday life, your body will just recompromise. Recompromise. So it's pretty sweet how it works. So yeah, I don't really have much to talk about, so I'm going to save this in the drafts. I'm going to blast some music and head to the gym. Slightly different camera angle. Literally after that last set of T-bars, just broke the fucking tripod. So this wee bit came out, but sure it's fixable. So we're propped up against the bottle. Let's see how we're looking. So this morning weighing in at bang on 68 kg. Let's adjust this. Last chest day, I think was roughly, I'm not even too sure, 67.3 I think? I can double check, or 67.5, so half kilo up. Put it back when you're actually. Ask you one most muscular just for fun. Yeah, looking pretty good. Half kilo up, bang on 68. Weight's fluctuated all the way up to 69 this week. Came down 67 was starting weight. Now we're bang on 68. So we're heading in the right direction. Bye. See you guys in the car. Yo, so we just finished back and broke our tripod at the very end. So that wee post down might have been a wee bit scuffed, but overall fucking really good back day. Small increase on the pendlay rows, which is fun, which is really fun. So that's a 10 kilo increase from last week, and then the back offset we literally just stuck to the same weight. We turn the fucking mic type thing on. So yeah, we stuck to the same weight on for the back offset, which was last week's working weight. And overall, everything's actually moving tremendously well. Like, I am over the moon with progression. Weight, like body weight wise, this time last week we were weighing in at 87.5, I think. The weight's fluctuated up to 89. No, not fucking hell, not 89. What the fuck? That's my peak bulk. That's like near my peak bulk, yeah. So weight was 67. 67 and a half. Weight fluctuated all the way up to 69 and 69.8, so just under 70 kg. And then weights went all the way back down to 68.3, then 68, everything like that. And that's one of the best things about it, is I can look back on all progress. So I've pretty much plugged everything into a Google Sheets and I can see everything come up. So for anyone out there who's struggling, because it's one big thing is struggling with weight gain or anything like that, if it's rapid weight gain, don't worry, it literally comes off quick. If it's weight gain that's even prolonged over a couple of months, let's say 4, 5, 6 months, 2 months, 4 months, whatever the case may be. Literally yesterday someone was saying to me that they gained, what was it, like 2 kilos in the space of like 5 months, and they were overthinking it. They were even wanting to go speak to a doctor because they just overthink every single little bit of weight gain, and I think that's bad. But your weight fluctuates so much, and it's something you should not get you shouldn't overanalyze it, I would say. Like, personally, I do it just so I can see how I'm actually progressing, but I don't get hung up on what the scale says. I just go from how I look, how I feel, and how I perform, which is the best way to actually measure yourself. So what we do is pretty much, well, what I do personally, stick to similar programs. Maybe switch up like maybe the row or the like 1 or 2 things in a session if needed, but primarily try to stick to the exact same plan and just try and progress every single lift. If you get bored of a certain exercise, switch it up with a different variation. It's pretty simple in the grand scheme of things. So weight, never get hung up, stressed about it. It's one thing everyone overanalyzes, but your weight fluctuates so easy that it's pretty much laughable, I would say. But apart from that, there's literally no much else pretty much that goes into it. Like, it's something you just didn't want to look too far into, because it can actually result into any sort of problems, like real problems, like mental health shit. But let's not get into that. So, plan for the rest of the day. Got work. It's currently 9:30. Yesterday's video, I didn't do a car talk, but pretty much analysed that shoulder day as well, if anyone saw that. So that wasn't the shoulder day that pretty much built up my shoulders. Literally, I built my shoulders from, I like to say, heavy upright rows and shoulder press is what really built my shoulders. At the very start, I was doing like a ton of shrugs. So let's say I'd hit probably shoulders every day, hitting shrugs or upright rows, followed by a wee bit of lateral raises or shoulder press, and I'll pretty much hit that every day at the end of a session, because I was always obsessed with the Dorito look. So like the broad shoulders, small waist, which has fit quite well because I'm now into the men's physique category. I kind of wish I'd done it more so for legs, but I think broad shoulders actually looks pretty cool. Right now I am digging the broad shoulders, decent sized chest. The legs aren't so big, but it's something that I wouldn't mind progressing. Like just having aesthetically pleasing legs. I don't want to have like massive brolic, fuck off legs that are like double barrel size, which can't fit into any jeans. Like, I would rather just keep pretty much the physique how it's going and just get really good into the criteria for men's physique. So that's my personal goal. But obviously, anyone else, most people want just big, massive X-frame, broad shoulders, big chest, big legs, small waist, which ideally is pretty sick. But right now, I'm kind of liking how I'm looking. Hamstrings are kind of grown. They are fucked to be beyond repair, I'd say. Even that lighter set of Pendleys, they were absolutely smoked. So literally that wee boogie at the end was literally just to ease off hamstrings. But that top set, man, an extra 10 kilos on top of last week's working weight, which I'm going to run back next week as well. So 90 kg Pendleys coming in next week. I can just literally hit that and just keep 80 for the back offset, or even 82.5, just micro load with the 1.25s. It's going to be ideal. It's going to be a decent wee bit of progression, which, again, I'm just excited to see the progress. I'm not in any rush to pretty much get strong as possible really quick. I've done that the last bulk, and it just kind of got onto a decent amount of fat really quick, because obviously the more you weigh, the more you're going to be able to lift. But if I try and stay maintaining, just slowly building the weight up, let's say my 0.25 to half a kilo a week. So 0.25 minimum, half a kilo a week is what I'm looking to gain on my wee spreadsheet. If I can do that consistently for, let's say, 13, 14, 15 months, not getting too much fluff weight on, like fluff weight, then I should be in a fucking decent progression. I should be in a decent spot, while also training abs. And then obviously this, I'll call it off-season growth phase. We are training calves, abs, cardio, and also keeping steps in. Literally 4 things that I neglected all through my last gaining phase, which just resulted in me being too lethargic, sleeping all day. It's not ideal. For anyone who is looking to pretty much gain a decent amount of size, yes, you might be getting strong, but if you don't keep your cardio in, you're just going to gas out on your lifts, which is horrendous. Like, even the last off-season, I was tracking all my food, everything was bang on, eating the exact same meals every day, but just no cardio really adds up over time, which I wouldn't even recommend it for any phase, whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced. Just try and keep your cardio in best you can, whether that's even like a wee mini jog or whatnot, or just a ton of steps throughout the day. And I mean in like 15,000 minimum. Like, I think 12,000 should be a minimum for everyone that's easily achievable. But if you really want to get at it, 15k. And you can even do that first thing in the morning, completely fasted, for example, because that will burn into more your fat stores first thing in the morning. And then generally, literally a 30-minute walk in the morning, that's 3,000 steps already onto your daily total. So anyone out there who's struggling to get steps, just try and prioritise it a wee bit more. Whether it's nighttime, for me personally, I like a nighttime walk. It really calms me down, really gets me ready for bed essentially, rather than staring at a screen or just literally sitting there like sit and watching stuff. Because if I sit and watch something, I'm wired to the moon all night. Like, I generally will be awake for forever. So it's not ideal in my opinion. And I'm not trying to say that to be like science-y or extra pernickety. Just for me personally, I just try cut off a wee bit of screen time just before the end of the day. Let's say an hour before bed, 30 minutes, go for a wee walk or something. Really try and calm the body down. I used to just sit up, play games, like for example in the leg day just there, or even before this session, I also played some COD. I'm getting pretty good at rank, I can't say. Went 45 to 7 on Hardpoint on, I think it's called Scar. I have no idea what the Black Ops 7 maps are called, to be fair. I don't even know the rotations for that for Hardpoint, but we're going to get into Diamond. Mark my word, we'll get to Crimson at some point if I can actually play that one. But a couple games a day, Rent to Gold 2, I'll take that for someone who doesn't play that much. I don't play at all, like, that's first time in like 3-4 months. So, I'll take that. But what are we doing now? We are pretty much heading back. Need to stop off at Aldi, get some bread. Then we got our meal, which should be breakfast meal, but it's going to be meal number 3, which is going to be sourdough, eggs, sauerkraut and spinach, which I eat the same meals every day in, day out. If I don't have something, I'll just macro track it to the best ability, but it's quite easy to do. Which once you've been weighing up food or tracking food for X amount of time, it gets easier. Literally, you can look at a wee plate or something, try and guesstimate it, and it's going to be roughly similar, whether you're eating out or anything like that. If you're a beginner, it might be a wee bit more challenging. I just recommend weighing out every single bit of food you eat, just so you can actually get a clear understanding of how many calories, how many macros this is going to be, and what it actually roughly looks like. So let's say you're like out for a meal and you get like below let's say a pasta or any type of rice, like one that's like just congealed all together essentially. Big bowl mixed food. Go to a wee taco place, you know, there's going to be X amount of carbs, X amount of fats, X amount of protein, just by looking at it. And then you can gauge if you need extra throughout the day. Or if you're following a meal plan and you go out to eat and you're not really the best at tracking it, just take out your biggest meal of the day and just replace it with that. If it looks like a lot of food, or if it's really oily and greasy, take out 2 meals or even half a meal, like a meal and a half or 2 meals, and you should be set. But again, as long as you get back on track the very next day, even if you go a wee bit over, your body just resets itself, and it's actually pretty cool how it does that. Eventually, get back on track, keep the steps, cardio, nutrition, water intake, everything like that, and your body just fluctuates the weight back into play. Because literally, if you bring it into play from the start of this week, I had a wee bit extra carbs, and then went back on track. Weight shot up to 69. Now it's getting back down to 67, and then it's now staying clear at 68, which is where exactly I want to be. Strength has gone up very, very nicely. Some increases there, weight-wise, but mainly just rep-wise as well. 10 kg increase in the pendleys, a decent wee increase on the lat pull down, which I'm just going to try and standardise the form just a wee bit more for next week. And a big increase for the Watson row, which next week we're going to run that back on Tuesday. The other gym I train at, the other Limitless, they've got the exact same row, so we're going to run that back on Tuesday and just see what the best we can get. If we can't get it, there's a Gym Leco one that's just as good. But aye, that's pretty much enough said. See back in for chest. This is pretty much a full week into the process. I'm actually glad I've started documenting everything, so I can actually watch each one back before each session and just know exactly how to progress, what to do next time, everything like that. So I'd actually recommend this for anyone, even just taking wee videos, whatnot. I'd upload them because I think it's pretty cool to watch them all back rather than having to delete them halfway through the year. But aye, it's pretty much enough said. Got a wee, let's see, a wee blueberry mist 3D, so we'll try this for the first time. Felt a bit tired after the session, but energy level was pretty good, so I might not even need it. I try cut caffeine off at about 12 o'clock midday, just so I don't affect my sleep as much, because that's one thing, as I said earlier, sleep used to be horrendous. Now I'm still averaging about 7 hours a night, but I want to try and get up to 7.5 to 8 hours realistically, because sleep is one of the biggest things. But best way to do it is just try to go to sleep at the same time every day, wake up at the same time, rinse and repeat, and hopefully you can sleep max. Anyway, that's enough said. Don't want to start waffling. Catch you guys in a wee bit.